Ever notice how some parts of the Bible feel like deja vu? Like you reading along and suddenly you like, wait, didn't I see this movie already? That's not your imagination. That's the Bible doing what the Bible does, repeating patterns on purpose. Genesis 1 through 11 lays down the blueprint, and the rest of Scripture keeps echoing it. Shalom, grace and peace. My name is Brother and Academist O. Smith. Welcome to Study the Bible, Not the Sermon TV, where we look at how the Bible uses patterns, real patterns, not the kind you see on grandmama's couch. Patterns to show God's work from Genesis all the way through to the Torah, because this is the weekly Torah portion commentary. Turn up. You ever notice how some parts of the Bible feel like deja vu? Like you reading along and suddenly you like, wait, didn't I see this movie already? That's not your imagination. That's the Bible doing what the Bible does, repeating patterns on purpose. Genesis 1 through 11 lays down the blueprint, and the rest of Scripture keeps echoing it. The pattern in Genesis 1 through 11, we see a repeating cycle. Light breaks in, separation and ordering happens, cleansing or purifying takes place, a remnant is preserved, and a commission is given. Right? That's creation, separation, purification, remnant, commission. That's the pattern. It shows up in Eden. It shows up in the flood. It shows up in the Tower of Babel story, like over and over and over. Watch what happens when we step into Numbers 8. The chapter opens with light. The Lord tells Moses how the lampstand is supposed to shine. Like I said, this is straight out of Genesis 1. Let there be light. Before God does anything else, he turns the lights on. Because even in the Bible, you can't clean nothing in the dark. Ask anybody who ever tried to sweep a kitchen at night. You wake up the next morning like, who tracked in all this wilderness? Separation, purification. Next, God separates the Levites from the rest of Israel. Then he cleanses them with water. Genesis 1 has God separating light from darkness and waters from waters, land from sea. In Genesis 6 through 8, God cleanses the whole earth with the water. In Numbers 8, he doing the same thing, just on a smaller scale. It's like a mini flood, but instead of Noah's Ark, we got razors, washing, and the water of purifying. It's like the Bible's way of saying, before you serve, you must be made new. Then we got the remnant, right? Then Israel lays hands on the Levites, and the Levites are offered as a wave offering, right? And this is, of course, the remnant moment. In Genesis, God preserved Noah and his house. In Numbers, God preserves the Levites and sets them apart. Same pattern, different stage, same God. And then the commission. Finally, the Levites begin their charge. They serve, they keep, they minister. Just like Adam was placed in the garden to dress and keep it, just like Noah was sent out to begin again, Numbers 8 ends the same way Genesis 1 through 11 ends, with a commission. So what does this mean for us? It means God is consistent. He works in patterns. He brings light. He brings order. He brings cleansing. He preserves a people, and he gives them a purpose. And if you've ever felt like your life is stuck somewhere between darkness and water everywhere, just remember, in the Bible, that usually means God is about to start something new. Man, look, if this helped you see the scriptures in a fresh way, drop a comment, tell me which part stood out. Or just type light if you want me to know you still awake. We'll see you next time on Study the Bible, Not the Sermon TV, where the Bible is deep enough for a scholar, but simple enough for a seeker.
Wow.